I made this YouTube channel for exactly this situation. I watch a movie and I think, man, that was ridiculous. Everybody must be trashing this so hard online. And then I get online and everyone is just loving it. Prey sits at a 92% critics approval on Rotten Tomatoes, and everyone from Jeremy Jahns to the critical drinker thought it was good. You know what? If you like this movie, it's not my job to try to convince you that you didn't like it, but my goodness, I thought this movie was so silly. I saw it with 2 family members, and when the credits started rolling, I said, guys, I want to apologize for making you watch that. Prey is a spin-off to the Arnold Schwarzenegger film Predator, and it takes place in 1719 Northern America among the Comanche tribe. Our main character, named Naru, played by Amber Midthunder, finally, a name I can pronounce correctly, is a young woman who hates Comanche women's gender roles, and she wants to go out and hunt with the boys to show how tough she is. When she sees a glimpse of a spacecraft in the sky and sees mysterious footprints of the predator alien, she tries to convince her tribesmen to hunt down the mystery creature, but when they don't take her seriously, she goes to track down the creature on her own. Prey has very little that I liked. It has some pretty cool shots of the North American landscape, and Amber Midthunder is easy on the eyes. Am I even allowed to acknowledge that an actress is attractive anymore, or is that a no-no? But anyway, it's not scary, it's not suspenseful, it's not fun, it's not creative, the special effects are cheap, and it's painfully anachronistic. Other than some cool close-up shots of the redesigned Predator creature, which looks like it was pulled straight from a Guillermo del Toro movie, most of the CGI is really bad, and what's worse is they don't try to hide it. If you can't afford big-budget special effects, then don't shoot your movie like it's a big-budget special effects film. There are a lot of really fake-looking deer, wolves, snakes, rats, and bears that are Sci-Fi Channel quality, but they just stick that camera right up in there and say, "Look at it!" It's like that meme, "Tell me your animators are overworked and underpaid without telling me your animators are overworked and underpaid." If you don't have the budget to convincingly render an animated alien wrestling, shoulder pressing, and gutting an animated grizzly bear, then you revise your storyboard. You use quicker cuts, you focus on the actor's reactions rather than the action itself, you imply that violence is happening with music and sound rather than showing it up close, and you use as many practical effects as possible. Having those limitations forces filmmakers to be creative, and that has resulted in a lot of very special Hollywood movies. This is not one of those special movies. I thought the fight choreography was anachronistic and just so distracting. Rather than paying homage to Comanche culture by meticulously portraying realistic battle and hunting tactics, their fighting style is a mashup of John Wick and Legolas from The Lord of the Rings. It's like martial artists from the Gracie family and Jackie Chan's stunt team traveled back in time to teach the Comanche natives Brazilian jiu-jitsu and Chinese weapons kata. Comanche warriors are shooting arrows into people's chests, then they're sliding under the legs while yanking the arrow out of the chest and then doing a 180 spin and shooting the arrow into the person's back. Then they kick on the handle of a tomahawk laying on the ground and it launches it into the air, and then they catch it and then throw it at another attacker. Naru attaches a rope to her tomahawk and she starts throwing it and pulling it back and catching it like she's Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. Then they show Naru on a hunt trying to outrun a deer on foot, and I looked it up. White-tailed deer can run over 40 miles per hour, and she's trying to kill this deer by running parallel to it and throwing her tomahawk at it. Now, I'm no expert on indigenous American culture, but I'm going to guess that no indigenous American on the planet has ever chased and killed a deer by throwing a tomahawk at it. I am also going to guess that they didn't wear their war paint 24/7, and sure as heck didn't sleep in it. Why would you sleep in the safety of your village with your war paint on? Why would you put blue paint on your arms to perform your daily village tasks? If I'm wrong about that, please let me know in the comments section and educate me. The Schwarzenegger Predator film was very good at creating suspense and subtly building up the eventual reveal of the Predator. Prey has absolutely no subtlety. They have this scene where we see the Predator's computer-generated invisible leg standing quietly in the forest, and a computer-generated ant starts climbing up on the leg. Then a computer-generated rat comes out of nowhere and eats the ant off the leg. Then a computer-generated rattlesnake appears from hiding and bites and eats the rat. Then the snake sees the predator's CG leg and bites it, and a CG predator hand comes down and cuts off the CG snake head and then tears off its CG skin, all in a single computer-generated shot. And these were made for TV special effects. The script is also really heavy-handed with the girl power themes. One of the hunters actually says something like, "You should be at home cooking me dinner." I swear, if he had said, "Go make me a sandwich," that would not have been the most out of place thing in this movie. One scene that stuck with me in particular is when Naru is walking out of her village to go hunt alone, and the other Comanche women are walking past her in the opposite direction, and they're all carrying babies and baskets of food and piles of skins. And we get an aerial shot of her going against the stream of women enslaved by their gender roles. I wonder what that symbolism is supposed to represent. It's a shame too, because I think this movie has an awesome premise. I would love to see a hardcore Comanche tribe battle a predator with bows and arrows, spears and tomahawks. I would love to see Comanche Indians lead a battle charge on their horses against a predator in an open field. Instead, we get a generic girls are just as good as boys movie wrapped up in indigenous clothing, and that's just frustrating. And no, it's not the best Predator sequel, and I haven't even seen the Danny Glover Predator film. I enjoyed the Adrian Brody one better than this. So no, I don't recommend it. Don't go subscribing to Hulu to watch this one. Just rewatch the original instead.